Hi again, friends. If I have done all of my planning correctly, this will be the very last read aloud that I send you this school year. The very last one. I'm so sad. But maybe, just maybe, throughout the summer, you'll end up with a video of me saying hi and reading you some book that you just can't live without. You just never know. So this book is called Super Sandcastle Saturday, and if you listened to last Friday's book, then you will see how these two books go together, because they're both about sandcastles and building at the beach. But I chose this one for another reason. It kind of matched last week's, and it goes with summer, right? And summer starts today for you guys. But I also chose it because this book teaches you something about math. And because you guys were home for the last 9 weeks of school, one of the last math lessons or units, kind of the last couple weeks of math for us, would have been about measurement. And measuring means finding out how long something is, or how tall something is, or how deep something is. So we use measurement to figure out sizes of things. So we didn't get to do that together in school, and I actually didn't send any of those lessons in your packets, but in your very last packet that you got on Monday, you would have gotten the rest of your math book. So it's kind of a thick math book, and you don't have to do it. It's totally up to you and your parents. But if you choose to do it, there's lots of measuring in the end of that book. So it might be kind of fun to work on over the summer, just for fun. But this book helps us learn about measuring also. So here we go. The Super Sandcastle Saturday. Super Sandcastle Saturday, written by Stuart Murphy, and the illustrations are by Julia Gorton. It was a hot and sunny Saturday, a super day for a sandcastle contest. "Okay, everybody," shouted Larry, the lifeguard. You need to finish building your castles before the tide comes in. Today, I am giving out prizes for the tallest tower, the deepest moat. So a moat is kind of like a ditch of water that runs around the outside of a castle, and the longest wall. Ready, go! Larry blew his whistle. Here's the trophies back here that he's going to give out. Kids look ready with their buckets and their shovels. Juan, Sarah, and Laura couldn't wait to get started. They filled their pails and got right to work. Sarah wanted to win the prize for the tallest tower. She started building up, 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 but Juan's tower was getting tall too. So here's Juan and here's Sarah, and they are building tall towers. And I think this is Laura, and she was getting started on her tower over here too. "All but my tower is taller than yours," said Juan. "Let's use our shovels to measure them." "Great idea," agreed Sarah. So that's one of the things you might see in that math unit that I sent home, is lots of times people, young kids usually, use objects to measure things that aren't really measuring objects. So like shovels are meant to dig holes in the dirt or in the sand, but you could use a shovel to also measure something. As you guys get older in school, like in first and second grade, you'll start using real measurement tools to measure stuff. So you've probably seen real measurement tools. I have a few here on my son's desk. This one is called a ruler. It's written all over it. So ruler is a real measurement tool that you can use to measure how tall something is or how long something is, and it measures in inches or centimeters. Maybe you've seen your mom or your dad use a tape measure, and they're like this really long strip that can measure things a lot longer than a ruler. But in the sandcastle contest, the kids are going to use shovels to compare. My tower is 3 shovels tall, said Sarah. Mine is only 2 shovels tall, said Juan sadly. Do you notice something? So Sarah's is 3 shovels tall. Follow this line from Sarah's tower. Watch this. From Sarah's tower straight across to Juan's tower. Do you notice something? I noticed that they're the same height. But Sarah says hers is 3 shovels tall, and Juan is sad because his is only 2 shovels tall. Does it make you think? It makes me think that the shovels they're using are different sizes. So when you measure things, you have to use the same size object or the same object to measure. Otherwise, it's not fair. See how Sarah's shovels are shorter than Juan's? So she can put 3 to show how tall her tower is. But Juan's shovels are taller, so he only needed 2. So really, they're the same size. It's because their shovels are different sizes. What they're using to measure doesn't match. Then Juan tried to dig the deepest moat. Nearby, Laura was digging a deep moat too. Let's see whose moat is deeper, said Laura. Our shovels are too big, so let's use our spoons to measure. Okay, said Juan. See, a moat is like a hole. So they're both digging a hole around their castles. Okay. And they decided their shovels were too big, so they're going to use spoons this time to measure. Do you notice that Laura's spoon is bigger, it's taller than Juan's spoons? I think they're going to have the same problem. Juan shouted, my boat is 2 spoons deep. See this line that shows you that 2 spoons. Mine is a little more than 1 spoon deep, moaned Laura. So here we go. Laura's is only 1 spoon deep, but watch, same thing. If you follow the moat, look, they're the same height. Hurry up, you guys, Larry called. The tide's coming in fast. Laura, called Sarah. I just finished my wall. Let's see whose is longest. It will be easy to measure if we use our feet. So, does everybody have the same exact size feet? Probably not. So remember, in the first one, when they were measuring how tall the tower was, they used 2 different size shovels to measure. So you can't really do that if the measurement tool isn't the same. And then for the moat, they used 2 different size spoons, and now they're probably going to use 2 different size feet. So it's not going to work. They quickly walked heel to toe along their walls. 5 steps long, Laura shouted. All right. So can you tell that Laura's feet are bigger than Juan's feet? So Laura can only make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps to measure her wall. And this is Sarah and Laura comparing this time. Sorry, said Sarah, mine is 7 steps long. I win. So I said Juan, but it's Sarah's feet that are smaller than Laura's feet. So it looks like Sarah wins because she's got 7 steps and Laura only has 5, but Laura's steps are bigger because her feet are bigger. Larry blew his whistle again. All right, everyone, he shouted. Time to see who won. Larry measured and measured and then measured some more. So this is what I was talking about earlier. This is a tape measure. So we call this a standard unit of measurement. They work better. They work way better to measure things with rulers or tape measures than it does with shovels and spoons and feet, because you're always going to have the item be the same size. But it's fun and it's interesting to measure with things that are not measuring tools like feet and shovels and spoons. So he measured the height, he measured the length, he measured the depth of the moat. Juan has the tallest tower, announced Larry. So here's Juan's, and it was 48 inches tall. Sarah's was 44, and Laura's tower was 40. But why, Larry? Sarah asked. My tower was 3 shovels high, and Juan's was only 2. Your tower was more shovels high, Sarah, Larry explained, but your shovel is shorter than Juan. So there's the shovels again. So Juan won for the tallest tower. Laura has the deepest moat, said Larry. Juan's moat was 12 inches, Laura's moat was 15 inches, and Sarah's moat was 10 inches. Juan's moat measured more spoons deep than Laura's, but his spoon was shorter than Laura's. And Laura, oops, I think I missed a page. And Laura has longer feet, but her 5-step wall still didn't beat Sarah's 7-step wall. So Sarah has the longest wall. So Laura's wall was 30 inches, Sarah's wall was 35 inches, and Juan's wall was 24 inches. Spoons and shovels and people's feet can all be different sizes. That's what I was saying earlier, right? Said Larry, but an inch is always an inch. So it's probably hard to see on my son's ruler here. Well, actually, you probably can't see it. This says inches. So from here to the number 1, that's called 1 inch. So 1 inch stays the same no matter what. So it's better to use a tool like a ruler or a measuring tape to measure things, because the inch stays the same size no matter what. But if I use my phone to measure something and this cup of water to measure something, they're not the same size. So then I won't get the true measurement. Anyway, I thought that was kind of a fun math book. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm sure this isn't my last read aloud to you. I'll probably just have to send you some over the summer. But maybe, even if you don't go to the beach, and even if you can't dig in the sand, you could make mud castles if you have access to dirt and mud over the summer. Or you could maybe build castles out of something else and try measuring them. I love you guys.